JB here. Hope everyone's doing outstanding. Thursday, November 6th, 327. That's fine afternoon. Really quick rant, talk about the market. Some names I'm looking at go from there. S&P down about 0.7%. Up and down, right? Tuesday down 1%. Wednesday recoup some of the gains, some of the losses, excuse me. And then we're back in sell mode here today. Difference here today is we're starting to hit some levels of concern, right? So talking about support resistance on the SPY areas. I'm watching 673. Talked about this morning and yesterday. Sure enough, as we speak, or as I speak, exactly it's 673 here on the SPY. The VIX, which was at 20 before, is a little lower here. And then the concerning thing for me would be yields. But yields, again, like similar to what happened on Tuesday, yields are down. So uh, anyway, I mean, read the headlines. What are they talking about? The AI bubble is bursting. I mean, I wouldn't even say that's what they're saying, but what was the headlines? People are focusing on Musk's pay package, right? The big vote. I don't want to go on too much of a rant on that one. You see names AMD yesterday. So what has changed between today and yesterday in the market for AMD, right? AMD reversed reversed the morning gap into the green, solid day, and then back in sell mode again today. So we'll see how this all plays out. Some choppiness. Is this just a churn before the next leg? Is this the start of the big pull? I don't know. In regard to Musk's pay package, it's like if this was $100 million company and he was getting paid $1 million or whatever percent of the thing, it wouldn't be an issue. It's those numbers, the $1 trillion pay package. And if you've been following Elon Musk and Tesla for the decades since before IPO and all that for a long time, I remember the last pay package and they were voting on it because no one said a peep. There was barely a peep. They're like, "Oh, are you crazy?" Because there was insane thresholds on it. People like at that time there was talk said Tesla wasn't going to exist as a company. It was going to go bankrupt. There's no way. And then it just kept going, right? And the pay package was passed with all these different thresholds that had to be met for him to get compensated. And then those all went, and it was like mind-boggling, like crazy, And then of course when he gets paid, they're voting against it because oh my gosh, so much money. But there was no complaints when that whole deal was started. No one thought it was going to happen, right? He was going to be able to stock price and all the valuation, all that was going to happen. And then they tried to fight or whatever. And then here we are with another vote. And it's like $1 trillion pay package. No, don't do it. I'm like, if someone is able to create value, run a great business, and do all the things they do, they should be compensated. Whether it's well, I don't know what that value looks like, $1 million, a trillion. That's not me here to decide. Just to me, it's just like they fight against it. It's like just, all right. Anyway, so it's funny. They put that as a headline on the vote. So that's the overall markets. And of course, 673 just dipped. We're down here at 672 and change. Not much after the close. We do have earnings, TTD reports, open, right? That's the big one. I don't even know when you look at open, what are you going to talk about the earnings? Sitting here at $6.70, not a name I would trade. Sandus though, that's a big one. If I had any conviction either way, maybe I would put some lottos on it, but certainly be interesting. All right, so that's overall markets tomorrow. Hopefully some opportunities tomorrow. And to me, the ideal situation or love setups into a Friday. I've said this many times. I love gap downs and reversals on Fridays. Hopefully not too big a gap down, right? I don't want a market crash scenario, right? I don't 2-3%, maybe a 0.5% or 1%, and then some kind of reversal. That would be the setup I would like to see. All right, so that's kind of overall markets. Normally today into tomorrow, we'd be talking about the November jobs report, October jobs report, and not getting that. Just hope this government shutdown fiasco ends. It's funny. POTUS is doing his little his big announcement around Ozempic, right? And at the bottom of it on the White House page, it shows all the government, the airline, the airport shutdowns and things. I just hope this all ends and we can move on to something else. All right, that's overall markets. So just quick on some individual names. At the open, was looking my names from yesterday, Solar Edge and Lemonade. Lemonade looked great. Boom, $79 at the open, spikes all the way up. It's 80, 81. I'm trying to think of scenarios, right? So to me, I was talking about on watch list. I might get some strikes into the hundreds, but at first I just want to lock some in. So I locked some more of my November 21st 90s in for close to 300%. And then I just have a few of those left, right? So then I start looking for some other strikes, and then it finds weakness. It's 80, 78, 77, 76, and by 10 o'clock, it's all the way down by $76. So for me, I'm going to wait for it to consolidate. I don't know if it's going to consolidate today and tomorrow. Maybe I'll get a chance tomorrow to find some other strikes. You know me, I love the story. So I think, pending any crazy market shenanigans, I think it trades into the triple digits in the coming weeks and months. So with that being said, I'll continue to look for strikes to take advantage of that. But you still have shorts, right? So there's still huge short interest. Who knows? Maybe they pressure it. Maybe they take it down into the 60s. I can't rule that scenario out either. So kind of want to see how the churn plays out first before I add any more strikes. But now I'm kind of riding free with some plenty of profits, so I can hold that, take some of the emotion out of trades. So that's Lemonade. Also, you take a look, upper Bollinger Band 72 and change on Lemonade. So maybe it comes down there tomorrow, and then maybe I could look for some strikes into the hundreds. So that's that. Then Solar Edge, right? Typically, Solar Edge, very sensitive to the overall market. If you had a big down day, and looks like the SPY's hitting the lows of the day here in a second, or getting close. We're not that to the lows. Normally it'd be down 5, 6, 7, even more percent. It holding up today. It was actually green for most of the morning, or close to green. Then it found weakness, hit $38 by 11:30, and then bounced. Normally again, I would think it would be finding more sellers here. It hasn't. So half of me is like, okay, and we have a couple of those 37s. They're still up 400%. Do I close those out? Actually, they're close to 600%. There's wide spreads on the call. It's tough to get out. So I'll just hold the last couple into tomorrow. Still have the 45s for next week as well, riding those free. If it trades into the green tomorrow, I think it trades 50, 60 plus in the coming days and weeks. So that's kind of the thought process there. I'll continue to hold those. Hold on a second. And then on the flip side here, so just don't want to be caught with my pants down and keep talking. I'm open to both sides of the trade here. As much as I want to be cautiously optimistic that the market's going to ramp higher into the end of the year, there's possibilities at some point we have a pull, right? And a major pull. So once we hit that 673 spot on the SPY, I'm looking for some hedge puts. Half me is like, do I look at the more ASML closer strikes? But I was looking at Lamb Research, and Lamb Research looked interesting. You start looking at the premiums. Don't need a big move for the 157.50s to pay. So got those. Matter of how long did it take? An hour? I got them at 10:44. No, 10:05. And then within 40 minutes, I was able to lock some out for close to 100%. Lock some more out for over 100%. I just held the rest. So two reasons. Obviously, I want to make profits on it, but also to protect if there's a bigger pull, and to allow myself to hold some of the calls. So I'll continue to look for opportunities. I keep talking about breaks of support. Always be hedging. So I probably should get that on a t-shirt, right? Some of the other slogans over the years that no one really talked about. And then now they talk the FOMO, right? Nobody talked about FOMO. So that's that. And then also in the morning, I talked about Trip on the watch list. It's just one of those names. Maybe it's this year, maybe it's start of next year, maybe it's at the end of next year. It's going to either get acquired, there's going to be some kind of spinoff or something that's going to cause a serious move up in the stock price. I keep talking about its valuation, its cash position, does stock buybacks. It's just, to me, it's like I look at it at $15. If I was a venture capitalist or whatever, or activist like Starboard, however you pronounce them, I'd be a little more aggressive because it should be trading substantially higher. So I was looking for inexpensive strikes, tried to get to 17s, couldn't get a fill, got to 18s. And then boom, it's into the 17s. Looked like it was going to go to $18, and then just people hit the sell button, and it did exactly what it did when Starboard, excuse me, tongue-tied here. They had their presentation at that activist meeting, the 13F meeting. So unfortunately, I don't know if there's a seller is still continuing to try to get out. Doesn't make sense to me, but either way, small position, got some inexpensive calls. I'll continue to look for opportunities to play this for upside. The other thing is sitting right at the 200-day moving average. So let's see here. I can post a chart. Key area. All right, so that's Trip. I still have my GLL calls and the rest of my Dust 14. Still looking for December strikes there. Like I keep saying on gold, it's going to be volatile. Still right at that 4,000 mark today. Yesterday, it looked like, to me, I keep saying that, like, if there was an opportunity for the gold bulls to say, okay, we're done with this pull from $4,400, let's go. You would think they would have done it already, and they haven't. So that's that. Just other things to watch too. Just the headlines about the 50-day moving average on the S&P. Yeah, it seems like it's going to come up at some point. The SPY S&P 50-day moving, 50-day moving average 664. So we start getting into the 660s. Just maybe it's over the weekend. Just want to see that hold. And I think that's it, folks. SanDisk after the close, right? I think it's 17% implied move. It's funny. I was looking at the calls yesterday. It was rallying with Seagate and Western Digital. And the 270s, 280s, they were all expensive. And then it's barely down today, right? It's down like 2%, and those strikes are down 50, 60%. So even the 250s are $1.40 by 205, they're down 55% today. So they expire tomorrow. So the risk reward doesn't jive for me. So I'll just continue to be patient there. Other names, I'm not going to talk about Duolingo. I always talk about some of the names over the years that don't do what I think they should do, and it's like banging my head against the wall. So I'm not going to waste any mental energy or time trying to chase some bottom on that. So I'll just, at some point, maybe I'll wait for the reset button, which kind of has already happened. Lemonade. Oh, Roku's just sitting here at 105. Another name. It's down a 0.25%. Normally, it did come down to 104, but it was in the green in the morning. A name that you would think would be substantially lower on a day like today, and it isn't. So maybe the next leg on this one's coming back over 116. And that's it, folks. Have a great day. I'll be back. Rock and roll.